Alright, what's up guys? I'm dying of my allergies, so it sounds like a great time to do some epic content. Today's epic content is that I found a Fire Emblem iceberg. You remember icebergs? Yeah, I'm like 70 years behind. But, you know, I needed some content for the channel because I never upload anymore. So, you know, this is some cheap content. We're going to do a challenge. I'm going to look at this random Fire Emblem iceberg I found on the internet. You can see who it's made by right there, the credits right there. And we're going to see how many I can explain. Basically, we're going to see how many of these I know and see how much of an epic Fire Emblem gamer I am. Alright, Priam's ancestor. This is referring to Ike. Yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, it's the lowest level of the ice, or the highest level of the top of the ice, whatever. These are the easy ones. Fate's localization. So this is a reference to the fact that Fates has been heavily criticized for having a bad localization. If I remember correctly, it had a different localization team than Awakening. And, yeah, because Awakening was done by 8-4 or something. I don't remember what the name of the company or whatever is called. But Nintendo Treehouse did Fates, and some people will be like, Fates is actually really good, just the localizers messed it up, and I don't think that's true. I don't think the localization helped. I've seen some of the comparisons, and yeah, some of the localization is pretty terrible. But I don't think Fates is going to be saved if it has a better localization. There's only so much, you know, that you can do. But yeah, the Fates localization is pretty bad. Necrophile Orson. I mean, I don't know how much detail I want to go in on this one, but you know, Orson, he wants his wife back, and he gets his wife back, but in zombie form, and that's all you gotta know. Poisoned Mutton. This is a reference to the Fire Emblem 7 commercial, where they go, "What happened to Dorcas? I put poison in his mutton." Ha ha ha. There you go. Lynn's age change. I believe this is just like Lynn's original age in the Japanese version was younger than the official age they gave her in the English release. I don't remember the exact age differences, but I think she's only like 14 or something in the Japanese version of this. They're like, no, she's like slightly... I don't remember how many... Again, I don't remember the exact ages, but I am aware of this change, so I'm counting it as I know it. TMS censorship. I mean, this is just reference to Tokyo Mirage Sessions having some outfits changed when they localize them. Some of them look really bad. I remember Tsubasa has one, which is like her white outfit that she sings a song in, and they like cover a bunch of it up, and it's the outfit is so clearly not designed to have those areas covered, and so it just looks like a blob. Of course, you know, people got their pitchforks and torches about this. I didn't care that much. I mean, I'd prefer it wasn't there, but it's not like a deal breaker for me. Interesting to note, the Switch version of the game has the censorship, I believe, no matter which region you're in. I remember the Japanese fans are very upset about that, because their version now had the censorship, because they based the Switch port off of the localized version. So, you know, that's something. FE64 is a reference to the canceled Nintendo 64 Fire Emblem game. There's a lot of history about this. The creator of Fire Emblem, like, left during this time, and then a bunch of other stuff happened. Yada, yada, yada. And this game eventually became Binding Blade. You could spend a lot of time on this topic, because there's a lot of, like, you know, we have a few like pre-release screenshots and whatnot, and it's pretty interesting, but you know, for this kind of video, I'm not getting into it. Path of Radiance Maniac Mode. So Maniac Mode was in the Japanese version of Path of Radiance, and it was cut for the localized version. And a lot of people say it's because they thought the Westerners were too dumb to play the harder difficulty. And I mean, that kind of stuff did happen around this time, but I've seen people play Maniac Mode, and I actually think the real story here is that Maniac Mode was just kind of rushed, and it's just kind of a mess. It's like harder, but not in like a fun way. A lot of it is just they puke a million enemies on the map, and it doesn't It's not very interesting. I am of the opinion that it actually isn't that big of a loss that we didn't get Maniac mode. I just don't think it's a very interesting mode. The Tharja DLC censorship, I believe this is just the swimsuit DLC thing where you got the like full arts of the 4 characters, the 2 males and 2 females who got the most votes to get special swimsuit illustrations of them. Tharja's was censored in the localized version. That's all that is. Bridal Sanaki controversy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so the very first, I think it was the first, no, it was the second bridal banner in Fire Emblem Heroes had Sanaki on it. Specifically the young Sanaki from Path of Radiance. And oh man, Twitter was wild at the time. They were very upset about this. Her dialogue, she's just like playing, like she's like pretending to be a bride. She's like 12, or you know, she's allowed to pretend. But people thought it was weird, and I guess I get it. I don't want to go into too much about this, but it's whatever. Everyone's forgotten about it by now, and who cares at this point? Fire Emblem OVA. This is reference to the Fire Emblem OVA that exists. That is where I got my Twitch username from. Kanas' death is referring to the fact that in Kanas' ending in FE7, he dies, which he dies in a snowstorm, and I mean, they kind of had to kill him off because he doesn't show up in FE6, and I believe his son Hugh is like, and then his, what, Kanas' mother is Nime or something, and they have to explain why Kanas is not there, so they're like, I don't know, he died in between the games. Soren's identity, spoilers, Soren is Ashnard's son. There you go. Alright, next one. Guy and Priscilla ending change. Okay, this one I actually don't know. So that's the first one I haven't known. One strike. I'm a fake fan. I have no idea what this is referring to. Nurgle's death mistranslation. This one I know. When you kill Nurgle at the end of FE7, in his like death quote, he's supposed to say his wife's name. Because like everything he did was originally to try and get back his wife, but then he got corrupted by the dark arts and then lost sight of why he was trying to open the Dragon's Gate in the first place. Anyway, they mistranslated it, and instead of him saying his wife's name, he just says quintessence, which is like the thing he's gathering and how he makes his little zombie guys. But yeah, they had him say quintessence instead of the name of his wife. I believe the name of his wife in quintessence is like really similar in Japanese. Like it's like one character off or something along those lines, and that's why the localization team got confused. Because you really only learn about Nurgle's wife in that special chapter that you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to access. So it's kind of out of the way, and that's probably why they didn't realize that that's what he was referring to. But it's kind of a big mistranslation because it makes his death quote so much more random. But if you don't know about it, you're like, what? Why is he talking about this when he's dying? Cellfx Julia pairing glitch. I feel like I knew what this was at one point, but I'm not as knowledgeable on FE4, so I don't really know what this means. Simplified FE10 script. So this one is kind of complicated. So in the Japanese version of Radiant Dawn, you actually got to choose between simplified and like full script. And there's been a lot of misinformation about this. People have said that our script for FE10 was the simplified version, and so we missed out on a bunch of stuff. However, I remember watching a video from someone who is fluent in both English and Japanese and had experienced the game both ways, and he said that the English version is more of like an in-between. Like, it doesn't go quite as in-depth as the Japanese script, but it's not just the simplified script. There is more to it than that. So our script is somewhere in between. It's very strange. Honestly, it was strange that the Japanese version even had the two different scripts. I get that Radiant Dawn is one of the longest Fire Emblem games. It's like 40 chapters or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's just strange. Lynn's sexy feet warriors. vaguely remember something like this when Lyn got revealed for Warriors. I don't know, is it just people were obsessed over her feet? Oh, no, I know what this is. This was one of the developers or something in an interview said how much they liked Lyn's feet. That's what it was. Okay, I remembered. Radiant Dawn was buffed in the West. Right, so the like special weapons that like Edward, Nolan, and Leonardo get were not in the Japanese version. They added those special personal weapons for the English release of the game to make them better. Alright, next one. The Last Promise. So The Last Promise is like one of the most infamous Fire Emblem ROM hacks because it was one of the longest and most complete ROM hacks. Or like the first ROM hack, one of the first ROM hacks to come out of its ambition. That's not a good way to say this. I don't. How do I want to word this? Like it's long. It's a full complete ROM hacks and everything, and it came out at a time where Fire Emblem ROM hacks were few and far in between, and this one just kind of stood out. So a lot of people played it, despite the fact that it's probably not that good. I played it on stream a long time ago, and yeah, nowadays Fire Emblem ROM hacks are like so high quality that it's hard to go back to The Last Promise. Rolf's mother. So I remember there's like the base conversations in Radiant Dawn, right? Don't they run into Rolf's mom and she like sucks or something and they're like, freak you, Rolf's mom. You know, fake Radiant Dawn fan, but I haven't read the base conversations in like a decade at this point, so whatever. Loptis Origins. Okay, this is more FE4, FE5 stuff. The thing I'm like the least familiar with this, so I don't actually know what Loptis's origins are. Astolfo and a green? Oh! Right. A green, they were a couple before, right? And then Astolfo went missing? And then... yeah. Something like that. I used to know more about this, but that's like the gist of it. Pervert Ewan JP? I have no idea what this is referring to because I do not know the Japanese version of Sacred Stones, but yeah, I don't know. FE6 prototype. Isn't this just like the Nintendo 64 Fire Emblem again? I could be wrong, but I feel like that's the same thing. Shanty Pete? I don't remember what this is. The Anniverse. Well, this is just a reference to like Anna being everywhere, right? I mean, there's not that much more to it. There's just a billion Annas across time and space, I guess. Thracia's 4 statues. I have no idea what this is referring to because I don't know enough about Thracia. I mean, I know there's the guy in Thracia that turns people to stone. Are like the 4 statues actually people who got turned to stone or something? Who knows? Martian Awakening? Aliens? Fire Emblem? What? I don't know what that is. A Mario Kart bonus disc. This is if you connected your GBA Fire Emblem games to the bonus disc you got with Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube, you would get special items. And this is also the only appearance of crap, what's her name? Elamine, the goddess from FE6 and FE7, who, like, you know, the Church of Elamine, a lot of the characters are from that church in the game. And you actually get to see her in the bonus disc. And they used that design for her in Heroes, so that was cool. Azel's Origins. Oh boy, more FE4. I don't know what Azel's Origins are. Nada Kuya. I don't know this one either. FE6 hit rate lies. This is a common myth about FE6 that its hit rate is lying to you. This is incorrect. FE6 is... The reason why you miss more in FE6 is just because the weapon stats in FE6 tend to be really low. There's some other factors at play. You could get way into it, but on average, you do have lower hit rates in FE6, but the game doesn't lie to you about that. If you play FE6 and FE7 like back to back, you'll notice in FE7 you're getting like 90 plus hit rates constantly, whereas in FE6 it's way more common to have like 75 to 85, and over the course of the game that's going to result in a lot more misses. Now that said, there is a bug in FE6 where you have a really tiny % chance to just straight up miss. It's very similar to like the Pokemon Red and Blue glitch, where like 1 in 255 attacks just randomly miss. FE6 has a similar thing, but it's incredibly rare to happen, from what I understand. Veld's second phase. Veld is the final boss of Thracia, I think. I was not ready for how many FE4 and FE5 things were going to be on here. I don't know what this is referring to, because I haven't gotten that far in Thracia. Cliff and Desai manga deaths. Huh, I guess they die in the manga. And it's a thing on here. I don't know what that is. Ulm's Falchion and Awakening. I don't know exactly what this is referring to. Can you... Is it because you could get... Is it because... I don't know. If you get, like, Ulm's Sword or whatever, is it, like, effective against Grima or something? That's probably not what this is talking about. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it's referring to. Tatsuya Suo, Persona 2 and Fae? What is it? Huh? BSFE Lost Audio. Okay, so this one, finally, something I kind of know. So BSFE is that, like, SNES thing where, like, what was the Satellaview or something? Like, in Japan, you could, like, get games broadcast to your SNES, and, like, they would have, like, live audio over top of it that was, like, being beamed to your system. And BSFE was, like, 4 maps that later got remade in FE12, so you can still play them. I think you might even be able to play the original maps, because people have preserved them. But the live audio that was played over top of it has been lost, because, you know, it was live audio, and I don't think anyone recorded it, so it's just gone forever. Super Thracia... Is this... This might be wrong. Is this referring to, like, you can input a button combo in Thracia, like, on the home menu to, like, unlock Paragon mode where every unit has the double EXP skill that, like, makes the game easier? Maybe that's not what that's referring to, but if I had to guess, maybe that mode is called Super Thracia? I don't know. Klaus. Like the guy from Xenoblade. I don't know what Klaus means. FE4 inspired by horse racing? That sounds like a bit. There's no way that's true. Maybe like one of the developers was like, I really like horse racing, and then people were like, that's why in FE4 horses are best class. I don't know. Reincarnation of Light and Dark. What does that even mean? Is this Kingdom Hearts? Scrapped second FE game for the Wii. Sure. I don't know if I remember they were testing like you'd be able to like walk around in a town and stuff, but I thought that was like a beta design for like Radiant Dawn, and then they scrapped it. Not like a second game. So maybe there was a second Wii game that I don't know about. Light of Zwei. I have no clue what that means. Gaiden class IDs. No clue what that means. FE6 Wrestling. No idea what that means. Jugdrol's 3 Greater Gods. Don't know enough about FE4 lore. FE7 plagiarized Tearing Saga. My guess is Tearing Saga, which was made by Kaga, the guy who invented Fire Emblem, and then left and then made PlayStation games. Probably took a couple of things, or people think it took things from Tearing Saga. In reality, they just probably had similar ideas for their strategy RPG. So, they probably didn't steal from it, but whatever. Scrapped SOV Echo's avatar. I don't actually know anything about that, but it wouldn't surprise me if at one point SOV had an avatar, because that was that was the style at the time. Nazgul and Faramir, no clue what that means. Uni's ending? I mean like Yune? I don't know who Uni is. Sayazaz. Caesars. What even are these? Link between Kaga Saga and FE. What, they were made by the same guy? Like, whatever. Harden's popularity. I don't know, he's cool. Of course he's popular. What do you mean? Gundam and low references? Aiden Project, Milan, Castor's backstory? Bro, let's just keep going. Every copy of FE is personalized. This is just a meme. FE7 was released in the West to outsell Tearing Saga, not because of Smash. That would be really funny if it was true. It probably wasn't true. Kyono Aki, don't know. Gaia and Neptune, don't know. Guardian God, don't know. The rest is cut off. Well, this was a thing. These bottom ones, I feel like this is just made up. What's even going on? Well, that was a thing. Here, let's find another Fire Emblem iceberg. There we go. Oh boy, reddit.com. Open image in new tab. Can I open image in new tab again? Nope, this is just, okay, we're just stuck on Reddit. Takamima, oh wait, this is Heroes. Only. Whatever, we'll do the Heroes one. Takamima's OP. Self-explanatory, he was broken when the game first came out. Bonus unit and arena needed to get all kills for full score. Oh gosh, that was a thing, wasn't it? Yeah, that was awful. Now they only have to get one kill. Fjorm should be dead by now. This is a reference to Fjorm having like a disease where she's like dying. And at the end of book 2, she's like, I'm gonna die soon. And then she's just still alive. However many years later. She's just, for some reason. To be fair, she did get the like super power up or whatever. So maybe, I didn't read that because who reads the Faye story? But I'm guessing she's like better now because Niffle gave her power or whatever. Tap battle is gone forever. This is literally a lie, but there was a long period where we didn't get any tap battles. So my guess is that this iceberg was made during that period. They occasionally bring it back. It's very rare, and I think they're usually just reruns. But it is not gone forever. It is just like once every 5 months they'll remember it exists. Certain characters can't see when you give them some accessories. Yeah, some of the accessory mapping, it covers their eyes. I mean, sure. Warrior maps. This is a reference to when Fire Emblem Warriors was coming out. They did these goofy Warriors maps. And this was before the grinding maps ever got released that we have now. And this was just like the best way to grind was on these maps. Iceberg is a skill in Fire Emblem Heroes. Wow. Orbs being incredibly expensive for no reason. I mean, it's a gacha game. A lot of gacha games, the currency is like way overpriced. I know in certain regions, the prices are even more inflated, and maybe that's what this is talking about. Like, I know in like, I don't know about this game as much, but I know in like some other gachas like Fate Grand Order, Europe's prices are like way higher, even if you do the conversion, than like the US. So it sucks to live in Europe. George was voted into winning CYL. This is really poorly worded. I think they meant to say George was botted into the game because he didn't win CYL and he was not regularly voted. It was a bot. That's like the whole thing. Yeah, so George is a shopkeeper guy from the Tellius games who is not a major character in any way, shape, or form. Somebody made a bot to just keep voting for him, and so he placed really high in Choose Your Legends, and so he got added into the game because of that. despite the fact that it was an illegitimate victory to have him in the game, but it's very funny, so I'm okay with it. Ephraim dev bias is something people always say whenever Ephraim gets anything good, because there's a dev who said that Ephraim is his favorite character. That's the whole thing. Second anniversary free pick? What? Is this just... Is this just like you get a free Brave unit? No, it's like anniversary. I actually don't remember this. 6 unit new hero banners? Right, yeah, we got like the twins banner with Reinhardt, Olwen. Or it was the sibling banner. And then it had like Klein, because Clarion was already in the game. Had Sanaki, who's like siblings with Micaiah, but Micaiah wasn't even in the game, so that was kind of weird. And then what, Ephraim Erica or something? So they're like 6 units on a banner. Very funny. Voting gauntlets didn't have multipliers. Yeah, the original voting gauntlets didn't have multipliers. I mean, it literally just explained it for me. This iceberg's not very good. You know, I gave the last one crap, but this one is worse. But, you know, shoutouts to reddit.com. All hero incarnations are post-death. This literally isn't true. Like, take Adun, for instance. There's, like, the flower Adun, who's, like, clearly a reference to the good ending of FE6, where she lives and hangs out with Faye. Like, that's only one example. There's, like, a million other ones with heroes who are clearly not from after they died. But whatever. Brave Roy was always outclassed in every point of Faye's history. I think this is a reference to the fact that Eliwood also got his weapon. And every time they would buff Roy, someone else would get buffed. Like, Eliwood would also get buffed as a result. And so Brave Roy was always kind of, like, not the greatest. Disgusting. This is a reference to... This isn't even a Faye thing. Whatever. Anyway, disgusting is a meme because Ephraim says that, like... He's like, some people think that Erica and I are more than just siblings. Disgusting or something. I don't know, it's a reference to all those people who, like, think that Ephraim and Erica are a couple for some reason because people are weird. And I guess they called them out inside the game, which is funny. 100 feather Christmas celebration? Did they really give us, like, 100 feathers for Christmas the first year or something? That's hilarious. 100 point Tempest trials with no bonus units. Or 100k. Yeah, so the original Tempest trial was a disaster. There were, like, no bonus units. Grinding points was super slow. The map was super hard, like the final map. I, for one, did not get Masked Lucina, the, like, reward from this. They kept rerunning her later on, but... Yeah, it was really hard. Faye is the strongest unit in the game is a reference to an April Fool's video, where they uploaded it, and, like, Faye the Owl is joining the game at 99 in every stat. 50 stamina and Training Tower costed double. So I think 50 stamina was the original stamina cap, and Training Tower was, like, super expensive stamina-wise. It was awful. Golden Week 2020 was just 15 tickets on the picnic banner. I do remember that. That was very funny. So yeah, Golden Week is a thing in Japan, and gacha games usually celebrate it. And usually we get some cool stuff, but yeah, in 2020, you just got, like, 15 summons on the picnic banner, which did not have very many good units on it. The picnic banner is very mid, so it was like, whoa, 15 picnic banner summons. Oh, so generous. Tempest Trial units never had any means to get more copies until Aether Raids got introduced. I mean, yeah, it's true. Free-to-play units, or welfares, were just kind of stuck at however many they gave you. That sucked. Iragate. Oh, man. Iragate was very funny. So, FE4 got its first banner, and we saw Ira in, like, a trailer or something, and then she wasn't on the banner. And we had, like, her weapon in it and stats data mined, and she was, like, the best sword unit at the time. And so we're like, whoa, is she going to be a free unit later? But then no, Arden was the free unit. They instead released the Tempest Trials, and then put Ira on a separate banner with a couple of other units that weren't even, like, new. And I think she was also color sharing with red or something with like Eldigan or something. It was this big controversy that they stuck the best unit on a whole separate banner later to like make you summon on it, and they got so much backlash for it they never did it again. Tempest Trials Mini. Yeah, I do kind of remember this. I think this is how they like gave more copies of Mass Lucina by doing this like mini Tempest Trial, probably to make up for the fact that the first one was so hard. Changing skills used to cost stamina? It did? So, really early on in Fae, I was really casual. So, like, I guess I didn't play the game enough to do this, to know this. That's hilarious. 4-star focus banners. They only did like 3 or 4 of these, but it would be a focus banner, except all the units on it would just be random 4-star units. And it was actually really nice if you wanted to build up a 4-star character, because you could just like get a ton of them with like only a small amount of orbs. This is how I got a bunch of Kain and Soleil copies, I think. I think they were like both on like they like color shared on one of those banners, and I just sniped red, and that's how I got both of them to +10. So good times. Introduction of slaying weapons before weapon refinery was a thing. Yeah, so they just like released units who had slaying weapons, which were just strict upgrades to killing weapons. And I was like, oh, that's kind of messed up. But then they introduced weapon refining, and then killer weapons could just become slaying weapons. Dev challenge maps. I do remember these. It's self-explanatory. They just had these special challenge maps that the devs made. And I don't remember what the reward was, but they never did these again. Oliver is part of the fluffy therapy. I think this is probably, crap, what is it called? How do I not remember what the mode is where you get like 2 orbs every day and then you get little story bits with characters? I'm guessing in one of them, Oliver joins Fluffy Therapy Club or something silly. I don't know. That sounds like something that would happen. 3 and 4-star rates being reversed. Yeah, when the game first came out, it was way more likely to get a 3-star than a 4-star, and then they flipped it later on, so it's way more likely to get a 4-star, which is nice, but it also makes getting a 3-star, like, really suck nowadays, because it's like, really? I got a 3-star? Kieran murdered Riss in front of Sharina. This is a reference to one of those, like, Fae manga things that they upload on Twitter. And Sharina really likes Riss, and then the summoner, Kieran's the default name, like, sacrifices Riss to flatter his skills in front of Sharina or something. Plus 800 SP glitch. This was so funny. I don't remember exactly how you did it, but I remember abusing this to get a bunch of SP. It was patched out, like, I don't know, like 14 hours after the glitch was found or something. It was very funny. Kieran is the horniest person in Fae. Bro, you don't know that. Kieran knows in-universe about pair-up, capture, evasion, and dragon mains. I believe this is more manga references. I believe Kieran's like, yo, can I do some capturing? And they're like, no. What about the pair-up? Can I dodge? And they're like, no. And he's like, what the heck is this game? Or something. Distant Defense 1 seal used to be meta. I, like, vaguely remember this. There was, like, you wanted to, like, hit a very specific defense value. And, like, Distant Defense 1 would give it to you. I remember this being a thing. But I don't remember exactly why it was a thing. New Hero Banners trailer in 2017 showed who was going to demote based on the rarity during Combat Showcase. Yeah, so 5-star heroes kind of, like, glow this little, like, gold... These little gold sparkles. And the original New Heroes banners, they just, like... If a character was gonna demote after the banner... Like, now it's super obvious because it's always, like, the 3rd character on the banner. But back then, we always had to guess. But we didn't have to guess on the first couple banners because they didn't sparkle gold. Yeah, there you go. Is there another one? I need to milk this video for as long as possible. Oh boy, another Reddit iceberg. I'm sure this one will be good. Shoutouts to my default Reddit username, because I don't actually use this site, but I had to make an account because it won't let you view some things if you don't have an account. And so I just, like, have a default username. Can I, that? Okay, this is way too zoomed in. 1 second. Awakening character models don't have feet. I mean, yeah, they don't. Mine glitch. In the GBA games, you could use the mine item, and then, like, when an enemy is taking damage from the mine, reset the game, and then when you reload, you'll take over the enemy's turn, and it's very funny. Queen Icona? I don't even know who that is. This is at the top. This should be the easiest. Who's Queen... Oh. It's a Fates thing. Yeah, that explains why I don't know about it. Sorry, I'm just... Is this even worth going over? Okay, no, see, look! Koei Tecmo Lin foot fetish guy. I was right. It was one of the developers of Warriors who was like, made some comment about how much they like Lin's feet. Alright, that's all I need to know. FE4 manga Sigurd Deirdre sex scene? I mean, how do you think that Selef exists? Like you know. FE8 American growth buffs? Did they buff growth rates? That's funny. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going over this one. How long has this video been going on? 36 minutes! Alright. If you like this video, smash that like button.